This video, I'd like to focus on the settings for the advanced profile, covering the settings in the menu and also the volume profile settings and the new tab specifically designated for the advanced profile. The advanced profile menu has been designed in a way to connect to the volume profiles in two different ways. The first way is by designating the profile as being active. There can only be one active profile on a chart at any one time. And you will notice there's three options here that have been enabled for advanced profile users. AlgoX users will already be familiar with this process, as this designates which profile the AlgoX algorithms will use to calculate and generate the various entry levels, take profit levels, and management steps. The other way is by enabling a profile via the context menu to be connected to this menu. First of all, I'm going to add an active profile to this chart. And you will see there is a translucent color background that is set to make the active profiles stand out very clearly from any other profiles that you have on your chart. If I go into the parameters, you will see in the AlgoX section active profile color. So a user can change this to their color preferences. Additionally, there is an enable make active profile. What this does is when it's enabled, it triggers a pop-up box when a user wishes to add another active profile to another region of the chart. We can only have one active profile on a chart at a time, so this manages a process of switching one active profile to another active profile. If you do not want to see the confirmation box, you can set this to unchecked. This again is covered in the document, and I will illustrate this in an example following this. So now we have an active profile. By default, this will be connected to the advanced profile menu. So by quick displaying any of these settings here, for example, standard deviation, the DWAP, you will immediately see that these lines display within the profile. Now currently these settings have not been saved. It's a convenience display to enable you to assess the layout and the trend or the range of the profile and which of these OFA variables make sense for any trade opportunity within your strategy, and which levels you wish to perhaps designate as an entry. For example, the VWAP, which is the magenta, and the DWAP, which is a new OFA element, which is the cyan. Here we have a potential opportunity for an entry here and a stop here. If I continue to add other elements, you'll see these just pop up one by one. If at any time during this process that I determine there's too much clutter and I would like to reset to the prior saved settings, by selecting the restore, this takes us back to the prior saved settings, which in this case we do not have any saved settings. So I'm going to add back the standard deviation and the DWAP. Okay. What I can now do, once I'm satisfied with the OFA profile elements that I want to use and save for this swing profile type, by right-clicking on the context menu, you'll see there is a saved advanced profile settings. So this is a convenient save for this profile without me explicitly needing to go into the volume profile settings and enable each one. So I can now save these settings. So all of these settings that you see in the chart are now enabled. In addition to saving the elements for this profile in the database, when we click save, all of the settings in this advanced profile are set to hide, i.e. they're disabled. This just provides a consistent means of keeping the database settings in sync with the menu. If I now open up the volume profile settings and go into the advanced profile tab, you can see for each of these elements the DWAP, which is the cyan, and the standard deviation lines have both been enabled. So this has already been saved to the database. I can additionally include some other levels and values that I wish to see in the profile. And similarly, I can apply these and save these to the database. Selecting OK or Apply within the volume profile settings will also reset all of the elements in the advanced profile menu to hide. Again, ensuring consistency so there's a clarity in being in sync with what is saved in the database versus what is on the screen. Okay, so I'm going to close this, and you'll see now that the evolving volume VPOC and the TWAP, which is the brown dotted line, have also been added to this chart. So I'm now going to delete this active profile. The other way to add a profile and connect it to the advanced profile menu is just by adding a standard swing profile, which you can see does not have the background color. By default, these profiles are not connected to the advanced profile menu, and you can see this by the setting here. I'm being given the option to enable this to connect to the menu, which I will do now. So now I can add additional profile elements in detail to this profile area. Again, selecting Restore takes me back to the prior saved settings. So you can see that the only two that were removed were the value area and the midline. Depending on how you use the volume profiles within your trading, for example, decision point profiles, which typically span a pivot region of around 3 to 5 bars. These typically you would not want to be connected typically to the advanced profile menu, and you will see again the menu here, it's set to enable. So again, by default, all of these will be disabled, as I may have several decision points and perhaps a range profile which I do not want to include when I'm reviewing another profile, for example a swing profile, for trade opportunities and levels that I would like to see. One final element I'd just like to cover is the active profile. So I'm going to add back a swing active profile to this region, and you can see again it's for the swing profile, it's loaded up the defaults for the swing profile. I'm now going to try add another swing profile to this area. This is the pop-up I was referring to in the indicator section. It's asking me to confirm, do I want to make this one here on the left the active profile or not? I'm going to say yes, and you will see this one now has been designated the active profile, which by default will be connected to the advanced profile menu. This profile on the right, if I right click, I will see enable for advanced profile. So this currently is not connected to the advanced profile menu. So for example, if I add the value area, you will see that it's been added to the profile on the left, but not to the profile on the right. I can remedy that if I choose to include this profile and connect it to the menu by enabling it, and now you see the elements have been added. If at any time I wish to remove it from being connected to the menu, I can just disable, and you will see that additional setting has been cleared, as it only will now, the one on the right will only now display the default settings.